Well, we'd like to welcome into the studio our friend from the Custer County Extension Office, Mr. Larry Bryan. Good morning, Larry. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning to everyone.
Thanks for coming in. I guess one of the first things we learned at Monday's commissioners meeting is we are now in a burn ban, 14 days, right?
Yep, 14 days in the burn ban for Custer County, and I tell you, this is something that's really important right now. We have had so many fires in the county, and I mean this past week we've had several. But just be careful out there if you're like pulling a trailer with these chains. Make sure you're not dragging them. We hear people throwing cigarettes out. We sure don't need to do that. But this is a rough time. We are very, very dry. In my opinion, we're probably drier now than we was 3 years ago and going into the spring here. So everyone just needs to be safe and support our fire departments and just help keep them safe and no outside burning.
That's right. And, of course, drought not helping with wheat fields out there, pastures. Man, tell you.
It is, we're seeing, I mean, everyone sees it driving around. We're seeing the wheat. We're seeing a lot of blue wheat. We're seeing wheat that's actually dying in places. Pasture, spring pasture, there's not a whole lot of that. And we need some rain. So far, I think, we're making it okay, but we do need some moisture, though.
Yeah, hopefully a lot more coming in. We've had a few storms here and there, but we need a lot more than that. And it looks like chances are going to increase again on Friday and Saturday. So we're thankful for that. Well, you guys have had a bunch of stuff going on. I know Monday you had your soil health conference. How did that go?
It went really good. We had our soil health and forage production seminar. It's the first time we've done that. And we had 4 people from OSU come out: Brian Arnell, Josh Lofton, Raiden Sherry, and Danny Adamson. And it was a great, had a good group of people, participants that came. And I tell you, it was, we talked about lots of things and even fertilizers. But we talked about soil health, but we talked about fertilizers because most people aren't aware so many of our fertilizers come from overseas.
And the Strait of Hormuz being a no-go zone right now, that's affecting things, isn't it?
Yes, and it's affecting fertilizer prices for the farmers. But anyway, we had an excellent meeting. We talked about cover crops. We talked a little bit about pasture and fertility management. We talked about soil testing. We talked about carbons and organic matter. And I tell you, and I received a call the day afterwards from the state's staff thanking me for how good of a meeting we had. And it was good because a lot of producers had questions. And, the time we're living in it's a tough time in agriculture.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a concern among the producers, but we had a great group there. We had a lunch catered by the Lunchbox here in Weatherford, and it was good. But a great a meeting, we have got a new for Southwest Oklahoma. They have hired us a new agronomist, and Raiden Sherry. He grew up at Hinton, and got his master's and his doctorate at OSU, and he worked for OSU for about 10 years up in the research department. But Raiden has come out here and doing us a great job because one of our own, Josh Bashong from Weatherford, was the only agronomist for all of western Oklahoma.
Wow.
And finally we got him a little help. So anyway, it was a great meeting. Lots of good participants, and covered lots of things that are important for soil health in this area. And
I had a question because you mentioned, one of the things you talked about was soil testing. When you're in kind of like a drought like we're in, is it more important to do soil testing or not necessarily?
Well, I think when we talk about soil testing, it's an important factor to do. But you also, and we talked about this yesterday, when you do a soil test, it's just kind of sticking a needle on the board on that property. Now, with as dry as it is a little harder to get a good test. I recommend every 3 to 5 years, you need to do a soil test, and especially in a lot of our yards and gardens. Those we have a lot of garden. They'll do them almost every year. But it is good to know what your nitrogen is, what your phosphorus, your potassium, your pH, and I tell you, we do large numbers of soil testing, and this last month a lot of water testing also. But soil testing is a little bit harder right now, as dry as it is.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. We're talking with Larry Bryant from the Custer County Extension Office. Now, coming up at the end of the month, you've got a big Cattlemen's Forum, right?
Yes, and I tell you, our Custer County Cattlemen's Association has grown to. It's a very active group. Mike Jones from the top Custer City area is our president, and we got Clint Rouse. He's really involved as the vice president. We've got a big group of people, but they started last year with this type of thing, and we call it the Spring Gathering and Farm and Ranch Show, and that will be April the 30th at the Custer County Fairgrounds. There is a meal. Last year we had like 140 some people, and I think this year we'll beat that, but what's unique about it is the speakers that we're going to have. Congressman Frank Lucas will be there. We've got, Congressman Anthony Moore will be there. We got Michael Kelsey, who's Executive Secretary of the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association. And then our last speaker will be, will be Nathan Miller. And Nathan is a member of our Custer County Cattlemen's Association, but this past year, he served on the Oklahoma Cattlemen's Leadership Conference, and he was selected. There's a group of those people that had meetings and travels throughout the year and teach them a lot about leadership, as in the Cattlemen's Association. He's going to speak also. Our Farm and Ranch show that we have with it, we started this last year by asking some people if they'd like to have a booth. Not really knowing how many we would have. We ended up having 8 people with a booth, and they get charged. It was $100 fee, and after that thing was over last year, they begged to come back this year. And this year
great.
we're up to. We've kind of cut it off like 15 booths, about all the room we have for. But we'll have different farm equipment. We'll have different feeds. We'll have different fertilizers. We'll have different. There may be some vehicles, some farm trucks. So this thing has really grown, and we're getting, it's a very enjoyable evening, a lot of fellowship, a lot of knowledge, a lot of visiting going on. But just like Congressman Lucas, he draws us a good crowd also.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I think some of the topics talked about this time, I think as far as Congressman Lucas, a little bit on the Farm Bill, and maybe a little bit on what's going on in Washington
in Iran,
now.
and in Washington, with the shutdown and
right.
and everything, if it's still ongoing, which it probably will be. Do people need to register for this in advance?
We will do an RSVP. The flyers are not going out till next week. We'll be emailing everybody, and then we'll also have flyers out, because I'm old school and some are older producers, that all the co-ops throughout the county, feed stores have flyers. And anybody can come and for the Custer County Cattlemen's Association. And one thing that we do, or they did last year and we're doing it again, and this is a big way to increase membership, but to join the Cattlemen's Association, a yearly cost is $150. It went up this year. So what we will do there at our meeting, and Clint Rouse will be the one in charge of this, someone will give a $150 check to become a member, and he's going to hand you $30 back.
Nice.
And then you're going to get a hat also, a Custer County Cattlemen's Association hat. And the purpose that we try to increase that membership, right now we're tied for first, but the chapter or the club that gets the highest, we receive a preferred cattle chute. And what they would like to do is, if we could be first and get that, raffle it off or sell it, auction it off.
That'd be neat.
So several years ago, when they had the Cattlemen's Association in Custer County, that was done one time. So as of right now, we're tied for first. And last year we did, I think, 17 on the night of our gathering. We sold 17 spots. and we ended up getting beat. We ended up third overall last year, but that's one of the goals. But it also brings a lot of people out. No cost on the dinner, and what we will do is start the program will start at 5:30, and we'll give like 45 minutes to an hour just for everyone to go through and look at the booths, because like we'll have banks, we'll have feed dealers, and it's interesting. And last year, the booth participants really enjoyed it and thanked us because they said it was a great way to talk to people in one spot.
Yeah.
And which we've had other businesses contact this year that want a booth. And so it's kind of neat. Everyone enjoyed it. I mean, it's we did door prizes, and we gave a lot of door prizes last year. Once again, this year there'll be a lot of door prizes. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It brings all our cattlemen in the county together, and you bring enough people together and discuss enough things, there's some education that takes place.
Absolutely. A lot of good networking, too, just talking to other producers out there. So, once again, April 30th, what time does it start?
April 30th, 5:30, and it is at the Custer County Fairgrounds. The farm show and expo will be in the 4-H end. Then we have places outside where there will be creep feeders, there will be side-by-sides. There may be a truck with a feeder on it and a hay bed on it, maybe some tractors. And then inside on the Patrick's, on the big end, that's where the meal will be. And the meal will start at probably 6:30. And then last year I think we got done about 8:15, 8:30. But it'll be a great meeting, lots of enjoyable things. And I tell you, the Cattlemen's Association themselves, the state, they have appreciated what we've done out here. And Michael Kelsey has been to several meetings, and we have what's nice about it, we have so many people show up for it.
And you've got some great sponsors that help you out with this, right?
Yes. The meal is sponsored, and the best thing since we started this back, I think every major meal we've had has been sponsored by someone.
Great.
And that's important because when you have people ask if they can do it, it's what makes it even better. It's great for our organization. So, and they do try to give back to county producers. So, April 30th.
All right, sounds good. We're visiting with Larry Bryant from the Custer County Extension Office on the Wake Up Show. Quick break. Back with more right after this.
Hey, cattlemen, join us for the 9th annual Reds in the Heartland sale happening Friday, April 10th at 1 p.m. at OKC West Livestock Market in El Reno. Cattle will be available for viewing at 8 a.m., lunch at noon, and the sale starts at 1. They are bringing you performance-tested Red Angus bulls, plus top-notch registered females and commercial replacements. If you're looking to add powerful Red Angus genetics to your herd, this is the sale for you. If you can't make it, watch and bid live on dvauction.com. For more details, visit okredangus.com. Don't miss the Reds in the Heartland, April 10th in El Reno.
At Woods Insurance in Weatherford, we've always believed that trust is earned through real conversations, honest advice, and being there when it matters most. That hasn't changed. What has changed? We're now proud to be part of Hub International, one of the largest insurance networks in the world. That means more options, more support, and the same local team you know and trust. Stop by the corner of Main and Washington, and let's talk about what matters to you. Woods Insurance, now backed by Hub International.
The average American drives over 10,000 miles per year. It seems like we practically live in our cars. From commuting to work, taking the kids to and from school, sports practices, doctor appointments, you name it. We rely on our cars to get where we need to go. That's why I keep Veteran Towing's number in my phone. Veteran Towing is locally owned and operated. Their service is quick and helpful. From towing, lockouts, tire changes, battery jumps, I rely on Veteran Towing to get me back on the road. Veteran Towing, 580-330-1502. That's 580-330-1502.
Have college credits? Want to complete your degree? Don't give up on your dreams just yet. If you have at least 60 hours, the Reach Higher Flex Finish program at SWOSU may be your fastest track to earning that bachelor's degree.
Wait, what?
This program is designed to help working professionals complete a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership 100% online. Call Dr. Todd Wiggin at 580-774-3052. That's 774-3052. SWOSU's Reach Higher program, helping you reach your full potential.
Welcome back to the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show. Our guest in studio is Larry Bryant from the Custer County Extension Office. Well, I think all the gardeners are like my wife. They're out there throwing stuff in the ground. And, of course, she's been praying for more rain without a doubt because she's been having to water every night. And she's not even done getting everything in the ground. But it's an important time, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And gardening, I've had so many phone calls on people about gardening, and they're always wanting to know, well, can we plant now or we need to wait? And there's several gardening tips this time of year, and this spring has been way different.
Yeah.
You know, the temperature's been a lot higher, and of course we've had zero moisture. But garden tips, and there's a few things that I would like to, some odds and ends to go over with on gardening right now. For instance, in our vegetable gardens, I think we still need to wait always want to wait till after Easter. But like before we plant our cucumbers, our squash, our pumpkins, and our melons, and our okra, just let those cucurbits be just a little bit later just to be safe.
Okay.
Another thing, don't spray insecticides on as your trees are blooming, your fruit trees are blooming, or pollination may be affected, so be careful with that. Something that I have been telling lots of individuals have been wondering about their fertilizer and all of our soil tests, and we do a lot of soil tests, so if you need tests for your garden or your yard, please bring it in. We're going to test it, then we're going to give you a written statement that tells you what you need, and we're going to talk, and it's going to also talk about the pH, but we're trying to make you have a beautiful yard or productive garden. So that's what we're shooting for. But on fertilizer right now, like on Bermuda grass yards, and, on 1,000 square feet is what we base it on these yards, but anywhere from 1 to 4 pounds per 1,000 feet, depending on what your soil test is. Now, if I'm a person with a yard and I just want to fertilize my yard, there's several blends you can buy. 10, 20, 10, 13, 13, 13, 17, 6, 6. Those are good fertilizers for your yard, and everyone's wanting to help push those yards right now to have a beautiful yard.
Yeah.
Buffalo grass, we have a lot of people anymore doing buffalo grass in yards. It's a little tougher. We don't ever want to go over 3 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 foot on buffalo grass yard. But also, when is it time to plant? My wife asked me also, but you look at typically, like the middle of April, we think lima beans, wax beans, green beans, in May, which we said a while ago, we want to wait a little later on our cantaloupes and melons. But peppers now, we should be good to plant. Okra we should be good to plant now, but just be careful, don't, and I think we've waited long enough, but like I told someone last week, be careful till Easter.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to plant something here, then we get a big freeze.
And you never know, even though it's been hot.
We live in Oklahoma.
What about tomatoes? Wait till it's a little bit warmer?
Yes, I'd like to wait till about the middle of April at least before we do those. Anytime April 15th to the 30th, generally that's good. Be sure and look at your watch your weather on TV or Mesonet and kind of look what the forecast is saying, and just kind of to be safe. But I tell you, it is time on flowers. It's time that most bedding plants and summer flowering bulbs and annual flowering seeds can be planted. Because hopefully we're after the frost.
Yeah.
I hope we are. Hummingbirds and bird feeders is something I think that I like to see people pay attention to, because in Oklahoma, hummingbirds start arriving in April. And so get your feeders ready for hummingbirds, and, use 1 part sugar and 4 parts of water. Don't use red food coloring.
Don't. Okay, because you always saw the red food coloring.
Well, or you'll see,
time.
but not the red, not
right.
Yeah, but just be careful with using that. Make sure we keep these bird feeders field, I'm talking about just on our bird feeders, because of those birds there, they'll take care of insects too.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot, and we're seeing this in the wheat already. We've seen mites. We're seeing aphids. We're seeing bagworms are starting to come up on trees. And the thing on bagworms, there's 2 dates. You homeowners need to make sure remember is Memorial Day and 4th of July, because I use those 2 dates like the 2 times you need to spray for bagworms.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying it's got to be done on the 4th of July, but somewhere right in that area and right around Memorial Day. And that's, pretty important, because we have, in the last couple of 3 years, we've had an increase in bagworms around here.
It's been bad. And then the other thing, and this might be out of your purvey, but moles, gophers. Want to kill them all. Do I need to call in Bill Murray or
Yeah.
what? It's crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, our moles and gopher population is huge.
Yeah.
I have used and seen people use many different things, and things that I have done in the past to kill them is not working now as good. You can buy some poison to put down, and it's to kill the grub worms so they won't have anything to eat, and that generally works pretty good.
Yeah.
There's several different brands to buy at several different stores, but last summer, I don't know how many bags I put down, and we're just not seeing any of it. We're having a problem with gophers and moles.
Yeah.
And, and you got to be careful, because, in the pasture or in the country, these gopher machines, they can, but, we don't get to do that in town.
Yeah.
So but we have
I've heard that really the only sure way is the guys that come out and trap them, but there's not that many people that do that anymore, is there?
And there's sure not. You can buy the traps, but you got to be able to set those traps, because it's a trick to catch them.
Yeah.
And there's not as many people used to do them. And another thing that's coming out now, our insect, is our ticks. Started paying attention for ticks. I know we camped at Broken Bow a couple weeks ago, and we had tick problems.
Good grief.
So already having ticks, yes.
All right. Well, Larry, as always, a lot of good information. We appreciate everything you do and your whole staff at the Extension Office. And once again, a reminder that that farm show coming up.
April 30th.
April 30th.
Yeah. Custer County Cattlemen's Association Meal and Farm and Ranch Show.
All right. That is Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, segment number 2. Stick around. We got news coming up next. Wright Media has Western Oklahoma covered. On the radio with the Coyote Classic, The Zoo, The Score, and News Talk KCLI. Plus live streaming local sports like Clinton, Weatherford, Thomas, Sayre, Watauga, Hydro Weekly, and Southwestern Oklahoma State University. We also cover Western Oklahoma with the West Oak Weekly. We deliver sports, entertainment, and information on air, in print, or online. That's Wright.media.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
All right, 7:34, the Western Oklahoma Wake Up Show, brought to you by Priority Home Medical Equipment. John Matthews joining us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Burner, sir. How are you?
Doing good. What do you think got better ratings last night on TV? The moon launch, the president's speech, or David Payne?
I'm going to assume David Payne, except I did see the president. So, for example, we're all sitting there, and I've got Survivor on one screen, and I've got the OU pointless, worthless basketball game on the other screen.
Yeah.
Kind of doing the split screen thing. And just, of course, Survivor, I say that because that's where David Payne kept popping in.
Yeah.
Let me know that I wasn't. The fact that when Survivor was on, that meant I was good.
Well,
That's
the fact that they actually played Survivor, was it the finale? Because normally they'd say, screw Survivor.
Yeah.
We're just going nonstop weather.
But I think it was, hey, nothing's happening. Okay, yeah, it's severe thunderstorms, but this isn't. There's no chance of we're fine.
Yeah.
That's the kind of I'm hoping that's the mentality they did. But anyways, so as I have that on my screens, as we're sitting on the patio kind of listening to it rain, all of a sudden you get the power goes out.
Yeah, you guys lost it over at your place.
Yeah, no power for which shout out to PSO, maybe about 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, is that all?
That was it. All of a
Okay,
sudden
wow.
by 8:15, 8:20, it's back on. It comes back, zzz, and all of a sudden I have some news desk guy on my screen telling me that the president spoke. So I have no idea. But the best part about the power going out, Todd,
Yeah.
instant neighborhood glow party.
Oh.
And we were just sitting there, all of a sudden everybody's just like, just dancing. We busted out all the glow sticks.
Did you have some mollies?
Yeah, Molly's for all the middle schoolers only. That was the ones allowed.
Oh, my God.
No, it was seriously, though. It was awesome. But shout out PSO getting it back on quick. And I know, did I miss anything important that the president said? I heard gas prices are going to go up still.
I read the transcript. It was a big nothing burger. It was like, we've won, we've destroyed them, but we're going to still keep bombing for 2 more weeks.
Okay.
And maybe this will end. But when they say, just for comparison, World War I lasted almost 2 years. World War III lasted almost 4 years. When they start saying that, you're like, okay. So we're comparing the Iran war to all other wars at 30 days. Yes, it is quite small. But I think as unpopular as it is, I think people are ready for it to ramp down and get $2 gas again.
I think the gas, if it wasn't for that, 'cause, I mean, we've all, since you were a kid, this war was coming.
Oh, screw
Like,
them. I lived through the Iranian hostage crisis. We should have wiped them off the map years ago.
Just finally had a president with some, to do it.
Yeah, but I'm just not a fan of all this Middle East crap. It's supposed to be America first.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all right.
It just shows you every politician is full of crap because they say, we're not going to get in any foreign wars. What happens? Military-industrial complex says, not so fast, my friend.
I'm with you, but Trump pretty much ran on, mess with me and I'll bomb the crap out of you. And he stuck by that.
But he also said, we're not going to get in any foreign wars. We're only so
this isn't a war, Todd. This is us destroying them. Okay? I'm just